Hello, Red Crafter. My name is Ashley, and I'm so happy you're here. Today's video is part of a special playlist that will now be monthly. Hashtag Blooming with Grace, and the host is Brenda from Monners Market and her co-host Tami from Happiness Created Crafts. Now, I'll tell you a little bit more about them later on in the video, but today's DIYs were inspired by bees and sunflowers. Also, you can win a $100 Amazon gift card, so keep on watching. The very first project, we're going to start off by losing footage, guys. I lost the footage of me wrapping the twine around the wreath form, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Then I cut the sunflowers down or off of the pick and then wrapped the stems around the wreath form, just like this. Wrap them nice and tightly so you can get a nice hold, and later on we will hot glue them down for a more permanent placement. Next, I took some raffia and a twine bow and just done a little shoestring bow just like this. I tied the raffia the same way, the exact same way. Get it the shape and size you want, and then cut off the excess twine. I glued the raffia to the wreath form and then glued the twine bow to the raffia bow. Then here's where I'm going to glue these sunflowers down to the wreath form in a more permanent place. Then I glued a little bee to the middle of that bow, and here's how it turned out. I loved it. It was so cute. Here is Brenda from Monners Market. She is the host of this Blooming with Grace playlist, and she is a wonderful, beautiful, talented lady, so go check her out. And here's Tami from Happiness Created Crafts. She is equally as wonderful, and she is our co-host for this playlist this month, and you must be subscribed to both their channels to win the $100 Amazon gift card, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later on. Our next project takes this shadow box and pry out the back or the bottom of the sign, sand both of them down, and pick out some nice scrapbook paper, whatever you prefer or fits your decor. I use these beehives with the little bees, and I am going to lose some footage on this, and some footage will be very blurry, but I'm so sorry, you guys. I am still learning, so I just cut the scrapbook paper out and Mod Podged it to the back. Then you make sure you get a nice even placement with your paper. And then once that's dry, put another layer of Mod Podge over that to protect the outside. And I used a heat gun to help me. Now here's the blurry part. I took a chalkboard scrap piece, or a little scrap piece of wood, anything you have. I painted that white, and I painted the sign white. And you can use like one letter and do a monogram, or you can print something off on your Cricut, or rub on transfers. But I used my Cricut, and I used this Be Strong, Be Kind image, and then I put it in my shadow box evenly and distressed it with some antique Waverly wax, then sanded that down. I also distressed some of the edges, then replaced my bead and twine hanger, and I did just put one of my little bees that I had in that package in the middle of it, and then here's how it turned out. The next project, I'm going to make a little beehive planter with this little glass jar from the Dollar Tree and some nautical rope and black paint. I start by gluing the nautical rope around on the bottom, making sure that it can still lay flat. And I just use my hot glue and E6000 off and on to get a better hold and more permanent, long-lasting hold with that E6000. Now when it's time to add a new pack of rope, I just put that hot glue right on up to the edge of that and then put a little E6000 as I am moving the rope to the next row, and just pull it as tightly as you can and keep it going really tight, and you'll get a better look that way. Now once you get up to the top, just cut that rope, add a little hot glue, and put it on the inside of that base. Now keep in mind that will be your back, and that should be about where you started the rope on the very bottom. Now go ahead and use that lighter and burn off all the extra. And I added my flowers now just to see what it would look like. Then I took a little section of that rope, I unraveled it because there's 3 pieces, took a little section, added hot glue, then kept it like tightly twined, then added more hot glue after I made my circle, and then cut it off, put more hot glue so it didn't unravel, took more hot glue and glued it to my vase. How many times can I say hot glue? After that, I placed those little bees that I had in that package all around the vase where I thought they looked good, and poured in some black paint and got that all darkened up to where it looked like it was a hole. And that was it. This is how it turned out, and I hope you guys like it. Hey guys, my secret question is, what was on my grandbaby's little sleeper? What is on my grandbaby's little sleeper? And the secret emojis are sunflower, watermelon, Christmas tree. And I'll give you a little peek at the grandbaby. Yeah, they're so sweet. Anyways, let's get back to the crafts. Our next project will include this printable, which I will try to link in the description box, and a sign from Dollar Tree, or a canvas, and something to frame it out with, whether you use these jumbo stir sticks or the paint stir sticks. Now, I went ahead and used the sign. So I took the little cottontail off and used my heat gun to help me remove the paper. Then sanded everything down, added some spackle. Then, I said that backwards, but you know what I mean. Then I laid out my stir sticks to see how I wanted to measure everything, cut everything out, and I used a pencil to make my cut marks where I was going to miter my corners. You don't have to miter your corners, you can do whatever you like to do. I just think it looks a little better in my opinion. Then I used my miter box to cut my paint sticks out the way I wanted them, and then started to stain them. I used antique Waverly wax and a baby wipe, wiped that stain on there, and then used my heat gun to dry them. When you're staining them, just make sure you get the edges so you don't have any natural wood spots showing. Next, I just used some Mod Podge and put an even layer on that wooden sign and placed my paper down where I wanted it to be center. Next, I used my heat gun after I got all the wrinkles out and dried that up. Then put some wax, or used the leftover wax, and aged my paper up some. Then put another layer of Mod Podge on top to protect it, and then I can start adding my frame. Then to add my frame, I laid it out where it went on the sign and then just picked them up one by one and hot glued them where they were supposed to go. Next, I just cleaned everything up, sanded it, and this is how it turned out. Alright, here's all of today's projects, you guys, and I just want to give a special thanks to Brenda with Monners Market and Tami from Happiness Created Crafts. I wanted to thank you guys for allowing us to be part of this collaboration. And if you guys want to win that $100 Amazon gift card, don't forget to just subscribe to everyone's channels, answer all the questions, and also leave the secret emojis. I wish you guys the best of luck. A $100 Amazon gift card would be great right now. Thanks for stopping by, you guys. And I hope you guys leave here feeling inspired. Bye.